Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Boxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punching? When I was hitting him with body punching, I heard him actually, he was crying in there. You're saying that Gibbs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on.
Boxingvoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time. Absolutely, but I knew he was cuffing and taking those punches.
Productions.
Making women gestures like, oh.
Let's go, champ.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, and we are back with some more heavyweight talk. It won't be Deontay Wilder. Don't worry. Don't leave. Don't leave. Come back, really. Wait, it's three fingers, right? Scout's honor. We're talking Big Baby Miller and Joyce. Yeah, so that's what we'll be discussing. No, it's actually interesting because this guy, Joyce, is a 4-0 prospect contender. I mean, we got to take this seriously. You know, his win over Lenroy merits at least that we sit down between myself, our co-hosts, you, the listeners, people that drop the comments, and debate whether or not this is a good move for Big Baby Miller and a great move for Joyce. So this is what we'll be talking about. If you're interested, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button as you jump on the live stream. Smash it up. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are here. We're back fresh off our live LA pre-fight Gennady Golovkin versus Lainez Martirosyan live fight party. Center in Carson, California. If you didn't see that already, head on over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Boxing Voice. Check out the video of the live stream and make sure you sign up to patreon.com/The Boxing Voice to get early access to the full edited kind of doc series is what I want to call it, because there will be so much more than just the live event that you'll get on that. But let's head on out to our co-host that will be discussing today's boxing.
Vasyl Production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Boxing.
Boxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knock out now. When the main thing is, I just know the guy. I wish.
Boxingvoice.com.
Yes, the Hipsters here, haters beware. And of course, I mean, heavyweight news, and it's not Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. I know it's weird, I know. But we have to rep the UK at this time because they sparked our boy, our good friend of the show, Lenroy Thomas. Joyce is a phenom at 4-0 in the heavyweight division. He may not be the overall perfect product yet, but he is a phenom in that division. And now calling out Big Baby Miller, which I absolutely love.
OMG. I am so excited.
So let's chop it up and let's get into it.
Yes, sir. Let's head on out to the UK. Hopefully he could bring us a little more insight on Joyce, our good UK resident, Robbie Hearns.
Vasyl Productions.
BJ was going to beat me, didn't you? You predict he's going to beat me. He got smashed.
Why isn't Wilder sold out 90,000? This guy has been pro for like 8 years, 9 years. If Wilder wants some of his work, you can definitely get it on ASAP.
Boxingvoice.com.
Yeah, welcome everybody. We got Joyce. So UK, I want to hear from you. I want to, we're talking about one of our own again. So no Wilder, but yeah, calling out Big Baby. I'm interested to see what everybody thinks about that, but I like it. I think it's a great move. Does Big Baby take it? he's apparently turning it down. So obviously, maybe he's thinking he wants that AJ fight. But yeah, UK callers, let's hear you. You know, it's one of ours, so let's get going.
Add Nestor Gibbs on Skype, calling absolutely free internationally.
Skype always being the preference when calling because the connection being so good. But you started it off by saying he's one of ours. So just I guess give us some backstory for those that are just tuning in, never heard of Joe Joyce, because you know I'm a hardcore and I barely heard of him. And I didn't even get to watch the fight. I told everybody else to watch this fight, but I was so busy that weekend, I didn't even see poor Lenroy lose to Joe Joyce.
Yeah, it was quite a whirlwind performance. He came in and blew him away in 2 rounds. I think he got knocked down in the first round and a couple of times in the second. But he's a UK silver medalist in the Olympics. Bit of amateur experience, and then in the World Series boxing. And then made his debut a few months ago now, and at 4-0 he's captured the Commonwealth title from Lenroy that obviously Dave Allen went to war with in the first one, and then had the unfortunate cut which cancelled that. But Joyce stepped up and really went to town on Lenroy there, and straight out calling out for Big Baby Miller. So he's looking to make waves, I think, and I think he can do it as well if the fight was ever made. But yeah, I don't know what Matt thinks. He's watched it.
I was so impressed by it that I sent it to my casual fans, like casual friends, I should say, like friends that I have that are casually interested in the sport, people that know the Mayweathers, the Pacquiaos, and maybe the Joshuas, the Wilders, the Thurmans, maybe the Broners, maybe those guys, right? And everyone was impressed, especially when I said that the guy's 4-0 facing a contender. I say that it's definitely shades of Triple G. It has that sort of style to it, that walk forward, I'm going to bruise you up, I'm going to mix up combinations to the body and the head. I might take a few shots, but you have the chin to sort of deal with it. And that just punishing power, even though the speed isn't there. You don't see this, lightning fast guy like or fast twitch muscles like you do with Wilder. And you don't see even maybe the brute force of Joshua in Joyce. But for some reason, his shots change a fighter instantly. So he's definitely someone to pay attention to.
He's got a very unorthodox, non-traditional style. The way he came at Lenroy, and let's just say he is a big fella. He's not a small guy. He's making Lenroy look very small in this ring. And that awkward, oh man, I don't even want to say it because as we talk, I'm trying to do production. You know what I mean? I'd rather not say it and fucking do the soundbite. So I'm actually just you guys are just not gonna hear from me till I actually edit my soundbite live on the show because that's how much a dude that likes to, I don't know, have fun on the show I am. But man, Lenroy just, I remember Lenroy from the Bucksino tournament, and that's what he looks like here. Just overwhelmed, not really knowing what to do. Even the knockdown, you just didn't really see a clear punch. It's just like he's not headstrong. And it sucks because I thought that the trainer changed. I thought that the elite level sparring would have changed that. But that's not discrediting anything at all from Joyce. That style is odd. I wonder, is he going to change it as he goes? The way that he's really changing from orthodox to southpaw, kind of walking his man down. I know that he does capoeira and stuff. I mean, he's really untraditional.
Jared Hurd sort of does that a little bit in a sense, that mauling style and that ability to switch and almost use your forearms.
Oh, it was a body shot that ripped him.
But I mean, Joyce is somebody that he'd put the heavyweight scene on notice. There's a reason that Big Baby is saying, nah, I'm going to go wait for the big money with Joshua. There's a reason.
Yeah, the fact that Big Baby replied, I think, speaks volumes. Because for forward,
what do you mean? Like he replied? I mean, everyone replies. I mean, AJ replied. AJ replied, said, "Let's roll." Nothing's rolling.
Yeah, but that's to the WBC. That's to the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. That's not a 4-0, like novice basically. So the fact that Big Baby felt he had to make even comment on it, I'm sure plenty of fighters get hit up by young contenders that just want to get in that ring. So the fact that I think it's like Matt said, not put the heavyweight division in trembling fear, but just like, oh, I'm gonna have to watch this kid. And the fact that he's gone straight out for Big Baby Miller, who's fancying his chances against Joshua and the elite, I think that speaks volumes. And I watched the first fight of Joyce's on his debut, and I'll admit it, I wasn't initially blown away. It took him I think 8 rounds in a 10-rounder to get rid of Lewison, who's a big sort of heavyweight, if you know what I mean. And he's got a good engine. He was still throwing these combinations and still plugging away. But I think, like Matt said, I think he's just deceptively heavy-handed. There's no real snap and pace behind the punches, but they seem to hurt. Shout out, he came out in the sombrero and the Mexican outfit on Cinco de Mayo over here. He'd done his bit on the Bellew Haye card. So yeah. Yeah, and I've seen his slightly. It's only been in 4 fights, but I've seen his confidence grow in front of the camera as well. His first, I think, TBV have got a couple early days, I think, before his debut, and it looked not a painful interview, but you didn't get much back from him. But he's starting to come out of himself, maybe, and showing more of his actual natural character instead of maybe a bit of awkwardness in front of the camera. So. I'm excited to see what can happen, and I'd love to see the Big Baby fight, but are we going to get it? I'm not sure. I don't think so, but it would be interesting to say the least.
I think he can definitely jump to that level, though, right now. He could definitely jump and fight a Dylan White, a Gerald Washington, a Big Baby, and I would be happy. I feel like that would be the right step, even though he's only 5-0 at this point, or 4-0 at this point. He's there. He is ready, even though we're obviously get to what Big Baby said on Twitter and stuff like that, his responses, but he said he's not the new Lomachenko, but I mean, for the heavyweight division to do what he did, I mean, I got to give him his props, man. Like Joe Joyce. Everyone said AJ. AJ was a unified champion in 19 fights. Yeah, he didn't beat a guy like Lenroy Thomas in 4-0. Like no one has in the heavyweight division right now. That's impressive.
I think so. I think it's a good statement made.
I agree.
But going forward, I think if the Big Baby fight was made, I personally think he can almost out Big Baby. He can be the grinder and just wear down. And I know Big Baby is a 300-pound heavyweight, and it may take longer than like what we saw with Lenroy. But Joyce has got I think many times I've heard it on commentary, but he's got a phenomenal engine, and he can keep doing what he does late into fight. So I don't know. I think he could possibly even take Big Baby, but
it was a perfect step up because it's like Matt said, it gets us talking, but let's play matchmaker, right? What next? Obviously he wants Big Baby. Big Baby's in a position where he's a top 3 heavyweight, top 4 at least. It's either him and Dillian White that are the closest, or him, Dillian White, and Alexander Povetkin are the closest to a title shot. So if you're Big Baby, like, why take this fight with Joyce? Right? You're giving Joyce the opportunity to make a name. Now, if they offer him a bag, if the bag is there, then it's different. You know what I mean? Then you can't do anything else about it. But like, if there's no bag, there's no bag.
I mean, he's signed with David Haye, Haymaker Promotion. So I don't necessarily know how much of a bag they can offer. I don't, what sort of size promotional company they are. So
got into another injury. Remember we said he didn't, you guys didn't believe he had one. Well, there you go.
Okay.
Digressing.
So yeah, as far as offering the bag, I don't know what kind of bag Haymaker Promotions can put together.
I mean, it's Big Baby. Big Baby's options are AJ Wilder and Joe Joyce. Like, come on. Like, if it doesn't take a rocket science to realize where the dollars are. It's AJ. So if you're Big Baby, you're gonna wait to see if you can take the AJ fight in the summer. If you can't, you look for the biggest bag after that, and it's probably not Joe Joyce.
He also mentioned the winner of Huey Fury and Sexton, who are going to be fighting for the British title. And Boxing Scene article today is Huey Fury's trainer saying they're not interested in Joe Joyce. So further backing up maybe Matt's point of the heavyweight division on notice slightly, because that's kind of where you would see Joe Joyce going through, the British title, maybe the European. He's now obviously got the Commonwealth, but, at 4-0, calling out people like Big Baby, it's like, I'm not even thinking about British title, or
this was Earl Spence beating Chris Algieri. This was Triple G beating Curtis Stevens. This was that sort of demolition knockout performance that put the division on notice, and he did it at 4-0. Like, I'm not surprised that anyone in a position relatively close to the top is saying, why would I risk my status for a 4-0 guy? Even though he is obviously talented, he's a silver medalist, he's 4-0. Like, we're not going to take that risk. There's no money in it.
Yeah, the risk over the reward kind of thing is because beating him, what does it do on your own journey, if you know what I mean? So it's you beat a 4-0 fighter, well done,
If he's smart, he goes after a veteran that's been around the block that doesn't mind getting beat up. Sort of like a Duopai. Sort of like an Eric Molina. Chris Arreola. Somebody that has been around the block that doesn't mind taking that fight for, let's say, 6 figures. Because the top won't take it for 6 figures. They're looking for 7-figure paychecks.
Yeah. No, totally.
Nestor.
Matthew.
How are you, man?
Man? I would like to see him versus a Huey Fury. He's already in that market.
That'd be great.
If he's ready to come up with the Big Baby.
Chisora would make sense.
Chisora would make a lot more sense, but they've already tried to make that fight. They've offered Chisora double the amount of the money. Chisora said no. He said something about wanting to be on the undercard of Vasyl Haye and getting the winner in the contract or some weird shit. I don't know.
He wanted, what was it? If he beats, what was it? If he beats me, you just pay me £1. But if I beat your boy on the Vasyl Haye card, you have to give me your told David Haye, you have to give me your purse for the Vasyl fight.
You don't want that smoke. Come on.
No. And he'd done that after an interview, ringside with David Haye stood right there and whatever. But Chisora would make sense, and they were calling him out for that card. And Chisora he eventually done this speech ringside saying, give me your David Haye, give me your purse if I beat him. But
if he wants to go after more, let's say, American known commodities, maybe an Amir Mansour, maybe a Travis Kaufman, maybe guys of that nature on the PBC side.
About Wanaki or something like that.
I think Wanaki is one of those guys that he may think he's closer to the top than he actually is, and therefore he may not take the fight. Though I do love that matchup. I just don't think it's realistic, because I think Wanaki would think like his friend Big Baby and say, I don't need to take that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, again, it's a thing where you got to be offering whoever some good money, because it's a make a name fight. Whoever is getting in there, they're getting in there to make a name for Joe Joyce. So they have to be sure they're going to win, and it has to be worth their money in case they don't win. I like the Chisora fight, but Chisora, he's carrying on. I don't mind Huey.
Carlos talking would be interesting.
Take Shannon Briggs off the map in the in-between. I mean, not that it does anything for me, but you're out there.
Yeah, I mean, we supposedly saw Shannon Briggs and Tyson Fury on Instagram Live together, and apparently there's a contract going to come in for a September fight, but we'll wait on that one. But
Fury should be ashamed of himself, and the UK public better shame him. If any other heavyweight would be fighting him, it would be an issue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Somebody in the chat saying Brian Jennings won't take that fight. He thinks he's too close to the top.
Well, Brian Jennings is also rebuilding, obviously. You don't go from Joey DeWelko to Joe Joyce unless the money's right.
And I think we all are in agreement that we are doubtful the money is right for top 10 guys at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they can be offered. I'm not sure what are in the Haymaker Promotions sort of piggy banks, but yeah, I don't know what they can scrape together. So I don't know what a realistic opponent actually is for what maybe Joe Joyce's expectations are as an opponent compared to what they can actually pay these opponents. So it'd be interesting though, just to see what gets named. His next fight, because obviously at 4-0, these earlier fights in their career seem to come around quicker. We see them more often, per year than when they get further on in their career. So it'd be interesting. I'll be really looking forward to seeing what gets announced.
Ness, you want me to read all the tweets back and forth between the two?
Yeah, I thought you were going to give the Miller stuff.
Well, I was waiting. I didn't know if you could give me a cue or anything. I know you're a little bit sleepy, a little bit, sick. You've been taking some Dayquil. It's okay, dog. I got you. Shout out to Joe Joyce saying, yo, at Big Baby Miller, I know you're being avoided. So am I. I'll come to your backyard in Brooklyn. I am just a 4-0 novice. Big Juggernaut versus Big Baby with the baby bottle. Let's dance. And then Big Baby responds, saying, I can see Mr. David Haye is teaching you well, trying to get you big fights without actually earning them. LOL. You looking like brown skin Lurch from Addams Family. Get 10 fights first. You not know at Vasyl Lomachenko, laughing my fucking ass off. Another English muffin, laughing my fucking ass off again.
Say what? First of all, I want to say thanks people who support boxing. This is biggest day for boxing.
I mean, look, again, there's not much to say here, bro. Big Baby, like he said, he's not Lomachenko. Joyce doesn't come with the media recognition or popularity that Lomachenko comes with. So doing it is a step backwards unless that money's right. Those are my final thoughts. I mean, we could open up phone lines if there's any. If not, we can, throw the blicky and put the outro.
Well, there's no callers on Blog Talk. Any on Skype? Or we
there you go. It's time to go. Early show.
Joe Joyce moving the needle.
That's right.
The needle.
Joyce moving the needle. This is the thing. Promoters don't notice, that we spend these countless hours bigging up these fighters and helping them get noticed. No one would have known Joe Joyce was verbally taking shots at Big Baby. Big Baby in true New York fashion, handling it the way a top 5 heavyweight should. Looking forward instead of backwards. I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Don't forget to check out the live Triple G versus Vanes Martirosyan pre-fight Chiva-sponsored fight party. TBV was live in the building. We had Tom Lawfer on the hot seat, Cynthia Conti, Dougie Fisher, Fernando Pimentel. We had Willie Monroe Jr. We had a little bit of everybody, brother. We gave out some gloves. Check it out. Hit that thumbs up button here, there, everywhere. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're at 73K, trying to get to 75 and really 100 before May. I mean, it is May, but we got a 31-day month. I don't know. Maybe we get a huge influx. I'm out.
That's for all the Bad Bunny are playing before the show at the Chivas Regal. If you weren't there, you truly missed out on something. But luckily, Titan Media was on the scene. So we're going to have tons of extra videos coming out in documentary style quality coming out soon. We do not have a date on that yet, but we will have one soon. So make sure you are obviously subscribed and, a friend or on all social media platforms at Thaboxingvoice. But yeah, Joe Joyce, obviously a phenom in the heavyweight division. That cannot be denied at this point. What he did to Lenroy Thomas was, I think, truly impressive. That's probably the most impressive thing of Cinco de Mayo was Joe Joyce's performance. And I'm not surprised he's calling out the top because I think technically speaking, he could fight those guys at the top and do fairly well with them. Maybe not beat them, but he can contend at this point, even at 4-0. I am Matt the Hipster Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News. Oh, no, I changed that actually. It's actually at Matt Hunter TBV on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Patreon.com/.
Yes. Learned his ass.
Well, I didn't know you can just change it on Twitter.
We learned them, people.
Retroactively, I didn't know that.
He's giving up MMA.
I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up.
Lies.
Yeah, I've not seen a mixed combat radio show for a long time. He's giving it up.
That's because we are almost off the ban. I think it's like next week. Okay, so stop the hate.
Lies.
Tell me why you
Stop.
Please tell me why you
But anyways, I didn't realize Twitter, you can retroactively change your username, so I did. So it's at MattHunterTBV on all platforms to make it easier for you. And you can email me as well if you want to email me any topics or email me
for you.
Anything. MattHunterTBV.
Find you because that's who you are.
Thank you, Ness. Obviously, patreon.com/Thaboxingvoice. Help support your favorite channel. Peace.
Yeah, everybody keep an eye on Joe Joyce. I think obviously one to watch. He's going to keep calling out these bigger names. Maybe one will take him one day, but I think he's obviously got to just build his career a little further. But yeah, you can follow me at Rob Wetherall on Instagram or Rob_Wetherall on Twitter. Hit me up on TBV Twitter as well. Keep those followers coming in. Yeah, stay tuned. I'm sure there'll be more stuff coming soon. Later.
Head movement! Head movement! Head movement!
Yeah.
Squad!